Hello, my amazing people. Welcome back. I'm Kashi. Recently, I've become pretty obsessed with MBTI, the Myers-Briggs, the 16 personality types thing. And I've been learning the 8 functions, figuring things out, becoming more traversed in this stuff. I looked at my friends. I was able to say that one was, I'm almost certain, ESFJ by my typing. But not all of them so easy to figure out. But I just kind of decided, what if I tried using what I know to try and type Deku, Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. Now, just to clarify before I start, if I'm saying NISE versus SINE, I'm not talking about the specific order of the functions yet. I'm just saying which pair of them. So if I say is the character NISE, I'm not necessarily saying NI first. And if I say something like leading or primary or something in reference to a function, I'm not specifically saying necessarily as the dominant function, just dominant or auxiliary, whatever leading over the alternative version. So if I were if I were to say at some point leading FI, I'm not trying to be particularly specific at that point. I could be INFP, ENFP, ISFP, ESFP. You get the idea. If I mean dominant or auxiliary, I will say dominant or auxiliary, or tertiary, or what's the other one? Right, inferior. So first, I'm looking at, say, NISE or SINE. Is Deku going to have introverted intuition, extroverted sensing, or introverted sensing, extroverted intuition? And different qualities are more clear with different people and characters and such. And off the start, I'm not really sure which I think it is. I think maybe I can see some argument for both at this point. I've just started to look at the first thing, and it's not as clear, so I can save that for later. I can move on and look at TIFE or FITE. So FI is very strong sense of personal identity, resonate with things. You have a firm hold to your personal values. FE is a lot more outward, extroverted feeling, of course, as that's what it is. Everyone else is feeling, and sharing values, honoring the needs of others, getting people to kind of match and how they feel. Introverted thinking is very careful, strategic analysis, working with frameworks and searching for solutions everywhere. TE, creating structures, measuring things, complex plans, whatever. Usually some more outwardly expressed thoughts and bouncing ideas off of others more commonly. And while Deku can ramble on about some crazy things, it's not like he's rambling to anybody. Just because he might speak out loud definitely does not mean it's TE. Definitely seems like a very strong TI kind of analysis. And I think FE is very fitting for him too. Compassion is definitely not exclusive to FE. But FE does have sort of that typical kind of selfless heroic sense in the way I think is seen within Deku. Based on my own analysis, I am pretty sure that Deku is probably TIFE. I think his very methodical, strategical analysis within battle and such is very TI direction. And I think his style of heroism is a pretty FE way of caring for others. I feel like I'm not being as direct and specific as I should be, but this is coming from kind of a MBTI newbie INFP, so what else do you want from me? So with that, rounds down half of the types. The possible leads, the possibilities of leading functions is FESI, FENI, TISE, or TINE. So then, I'm going to look back at NISE versus SINE. Now, I can see some arguments. As the lines can fade a little bit, things are not exclusive to different types necessarily, but the functions do have certain ways that they tend to work more so than the others. Now, Deku has all these posters and action figures and whatnot of All Might, but this sort of these different objects with like emotional memory connection might give a sense of SI, but I'm not sure I don't think that's really how it is. Merchandise and mementos are definitely not exclusive to SI, obviously. Nor are big dreams exclusive to NE. Deku didn't go fantasizing about meeting All Might and whatnot. It just kind of happened to him. These just incredibly out there ideas of, say, a leading NE definitely don't quite seem like the Deku approach. NI, introverted intuition, has a more insights, realizations, hunches, and gut feelings, aha moments sort of thing, and a little bit more practicality in there. What will happen? What is likely future? And how does that affect me? Sort of outlook. Doesn't necessarily mean they won't overthink things. N types are going to be N types. NE is very abstract patterns, tons of crazy ideas, theoretical what could be's, how can I affect the future sort of thing. SI is very much a data recall, past experience sort of thing. Definitely would seem to have stronger sense of nostalgia there. SE is a lot more noticing the sensory data, more aware of the facts right now and what can be done and acted on here in the now. SE is often associated with tactile skills and figuring out how things physically work and function. And I would argue, I think Deku was NISE. Right, in fact, I'd say right away, leading NI over SE. I think it's very fitting towards his plans and his future insights and the way he analyzes and sort of I think it fits well, it is kind of hard to explain, but I think the NI's pretty well on show. In fact, I'd say hunches, gut feelings, realizations, those sort of typical associations are very fitting for him. I think he's a very clear introvert. He does very well with time alone. Being an introvert doesn't mean having no friends and never hanging out with them. There's at least one very humorous scene of him having phone anxiety. And so what would this mean? Sure, the same functions in a different order exist in introverted form as ISTP. I don't think it's that. Well, based on my probably not well communicated assessments, what would this be? NIFETISE. That's right. INFJ. First video I have talking about my interest in MBTI, and what does it end up with? INFJ, the least common type, and yet apparently a huge collected swath of the internet that is always everywhere. I think my analysis is correct. I think Deku is INFJ. It is somewhat fitting with how, say, ENFJ, the extroverted version, is sometimes seen as the protagonist type. It is good to have a reference to look at of, hey, this is a cool INFJ here. Because I'm going to be honest, my impression has been a little bit soiled by, I'm a special little snowflake. But what I want to know is, do you disagree? Do you think that Deku is not an INFJ? Do you think my looking at the functions was total bullcrap and I have no idea what I'm talking about? What type do you think Deku is? Comment down below. I want to see what you think. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I am Kashi, an INFP, and I have some other content if you care to try watching it. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all again in whatever next one is. Goodbye.